Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another normal game sent in by you, the fans, to lifesglitchtv@gmail.com. Mr. Maximus Black.
Yep.
Hit me up with an old school noise. Down here, the bottom left, we've got Mortophobe, the red Protoss, and in the top right, we've got fucking Potom or some shit. Potom? Potom. Pot.
Yep.
Potom?
Potom.
Yeah, normal game. Here on Old Republic again. We're back to back on the Old Republic. This is a big-ass map.
Huge.
Lots of opportunities for lots of mid to late game shenanigans out on this bad boy. And given it's an ANG, that seems to be what we are likely in for. This is also a diamond, I believe, level game.
It is. It is.
For us on this fine day. And so I could also buy some diamonds, albeit incredibly cheap ones, if you download free cash. Link in the description below. Join the rest of the LAGTV community in keeping my sanity and my bank account afloat as I both career change while simultaneously having a child.
It's fun stuff. It's all changing all at once. Isn't that fun? It's a great time. It's a great time.
It's wonderful.
I was telling Adam, he didn't hear about this, but maybe you guys did. Let me know in the comment section below. Blizzard set to announce StarCraft first-person shooter this September at BlizzCon 2026. And it is not StarCraft Ghosts. It's not StarCraft Ares. It is something different altogether. Are you guys interested in a StarCraft world first-person shooter made by Blizzard in 2026? I don't know. You let me know in the comment section. I'll be honest with you. I just would have preferred StarCraft 3. But hey, we'll take what we can get.
Listen, I'm just, Blizzard's real first-person shooter is Overwatch. That's the last thing we had. And Overwatch was a really, 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 really good game until they got lost in the sauce.
Yep.
A couple years deep. So, mechanically, though, Overwatch is really good. So, we know that they've got it in them to put out a mechanically sound first-person shooter. The question is, can they do it with StarCraft and in a way that may or may not be in that multiplayer format while we see Sexy Kyle trying to become sexy? This is pre-sexy, and it looks like... No!
Oh, he stopped.
Oh, no!
He stopped. He thought he had the range. He was out at distance, but nah, Steve said, get over here. And that was the show. Yeah, this is normal game. I actually tried picking a few of them this week because like 90% of the people that send in stuff is Will Cheese Fail, which is cool. We like Will Cheese Fail. But, I saw Mortophobe here, and I said, okay, you know what? Mortophobe, he's got a decent track record here on LAGTV. I mean, he peaked at one point, gone down, gone back up. We'll see what he can do in this game. Steve going up to see what he can make happen. I like this. If you pick off an early Reaper, heading on up there just to see what your opponent is doing, you might be able to get another pick here and there, can run past these two Marines, and we'll be able to get both of these Marine kills if they decide to get out of that bunker. But now he's got 4 of them, only going to be able to really kill one Marine and get out of there. He may even just choose to just run out altogether, and he will. He will get out. So not too bad. Makes it so that all those SCVs got off the mineral line for a good period of time, and look at that. Still 5 of them not mining. So that little tiny push paid for itself, and some.
Steve making sure that his paycheck is not going without return, as we now have a Phoenix coming up here, hallucinated, of course, going to get some more scouting done after Steve is only able to make it into the natural expansion there, although this Phoenix has stopped. There we go. We're going to be able to get in and get a little more information. We're going to see a starport. We're going to see something else fancy going on back up there. It's an NG Bay, I think, in the top above. And that's all he's catching for now. So he's got a little bit of information. Yep. He knows within reason what's coming up. He knows that he's not going to be getting like hit up immediately. That's going to give him some options here to get to work. On a map, I'll ask this, Mr. Black, since it's an opportunity to, it seems. On a map of this size, and this is a big fucker, I mean, this thing's got some heat. I say he's not going to have anything, and then I literally eat shit and die because he is sending down 2 cyclones as we speak. But on a map of this size, are you focusing hard on the macro, or are you thinking about trying to be aggressive in a PvT?
I think you got to be aggressive in PvT. Period. I mean, the Cyclones are in here doing some damage. What Protoss are typically almost doing exclusively against Terran at this point. Nice little block there. It gets rid of both those Cyclones. They do very little damage, but Pot does get all the information. But Protoss is almost always opening up with just Blinkstalker. Blinkstalker just seemed to be the opening that like 95% of Protoss are doing if they're playing a more standard type game. Because they're just so versatile early on, and then you make that tech switch. It's pretty damn safe. You can do harassment. You can blink around. You can pick off medevacs. Say what?
No, sorry, it's a production tab. Production for Mortophobe, 2 probes. Production for Potom. Everything. Yeah. All at once.
That's it. Great movie, by the way. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Fantastic film.
Spectacular.
Using the Hallucinated Phoenix to blink up there. Beautiful shift B into the base. Going to get rid of that bunker. All of these Marines are going to go down. That medevac is out of position. It's going to get focused quickly. Now the siege tank pops at the worst time. I was surprised that he just didn't blink over towards the right there, but he's playing it smart. He's not being greedy. Picked off a lot there. And meanwhile, we do have like a small counter happening with a Raven on the other side of the map. More warping happening down here at the 3rd. If there was a forward pylon up here, Mortophobe probably would have been damn close to ending this game. Ooh. That was a terrible blink up there. Pot is ready for him. And he's going to lose the majority of those stalkers, and he's going to be forced to go back or bring up reinforcements, which is what he is doing now. Supply still very similar. 73, 78, probe and SCV count very even as well. Terran still no third command center going down, and it seems as though Mortophobe is going to start macroing in behind here and immediately getting charge off the back of this. You do not want to stay on mass blink stalkers against Terran too long, because stalkers as your main unit against Terran after the 8-minute mark, every minute that goes on, they just get worse and worse and worse and worse. It's always good to have stalkers. You're going to want to use those as complement units, but you're going to want to have the bulk of your basic units to be those charge lots, to get into High Templar tech, to get the Storm/Archon off. You do not want to stay with just mass stalkers unless you've done huge damage early on and you can just use the numbers even if he is hard countering you, but you can just overpower him with the sheer amount of stalkers. Unfortunately for him, he did do some damage, but it was more so harassing damage, which has allowed him to get a 3rd quicker than Pot and has turned this into a more of a macro-style game.
Yeah, there was definitely a window for Mortophobe to have actually just closed that game out. He had enough stalkers, and I was, in my mind, I would have, and it probably could have been a mistake, but I would have just left the stalkers in there and just killed as much and seen if I could pull it off, because it looked there's no medevac, there was no nothing, there was only like 1 or 2 marauders, so I would have probably just left them in there and just gone to work and seen how much I could get done. But fine enough, he went back in, and unfortunately, the second blink in did lose him all those Steves, and like you said, we've now reset ourselves into this kind of a situation where everyone's gone home with their own ball and is playing with themselves for a bit, if you know what I mean. We have the expansion here for Pot now going down. Steve's going to be forced to get out of position there. He was standing there on guard for a while. And Potom is now getting a nice, I mean, this is getting to a point where, yeah, he might think about going out here pretty soon, Mr. Black, and getting to work for Mortophobe, who is, as of right now, also seemingly thinking about it.
Yeah, we're definitely moving around now, and Mortophobe's doing the right thing. You can't sit back too long. He needs to continue the pressure. The High Templar are out. You don't want to get High Temp and get Storm and then just sit at base for 3 minutes. You want to do your timing attack, because the longer you wait, the ghosts are going to be transitioning. Those EMPs are really going to ruin your day, and you want to be able to catch your opponent moving out just like this. He's going to feed back the majority of those medevacs. The charge lots are there as well. He's putting out the force fields. He's going to start CCing with these storms. The storms last so much longer now. So now when they start moving backwards, they're going to start going into the storms as well. You've got your Warp Prism from the back end. It manages to pick it off, but at what cost now? A forward blink, getting rid of the rest of the army, and only one medevac managing to get out. 2 siege tanks out of position in behind trees. Can't see anything until they're about to die here. And that is just real bad for Pot. And it just goes from bad to worse real quick. And now he has got the front footing. This is not enough to end the game right now, but this should be enough to negate the third base and hold him back. He's going to need these High Templars here to get off some Storm to CC. Very well done here by Pot, focusing down on those Templar. Managed to pick one off that almost had enough to do a storm here. Again, Stalkers not good against a whole lot of Marauders, but able to potentially stop a third from being, being able to be mined from, or maybe even forcing him to lift off altogether.
Yeah, this has been a very successful little campaign here for Mortophobe, who gets up here. And Pot, though, I will say, at least doing a pretty good job given what he's up against. You know, when you're up against Storm like this, you're mostly bio ball. You really are playing with fire no matter where you go. And he's managed to send Mortophobe home for now, but not before taking substantial damage there at that expansion. But as you said, at least he didn't have to. Or as you alluded to, he almost did, but didn't have to lift off. So he got that far in anyway.
Yep.
Mortophobe now re-maxing up on his high temps, getting ready for another go, perhaps, but he can't just run up there right now. He has lost a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like, so at this point, he's got to prepare for a counterattack that he got to figure is going to come to some degree, and here it is here in the form of a couple of medevacs getting ready to do a little drop-in. Where they drop in, we'll have to wait and see. If it's here, that's a bad choice.
Yep. It's going to be right there, and the Stalkers are already in position. He's going to start going in, and he's going to do a forward blink the moment that he picks up. And there it is. Here comes the blink. No forward blink. All right. Not even going to bother trying there. Those 2 medevacs managed to stay alive. 157 supply to 119, and Pot doing a really good job at getting back into this game after a really, really bad engage, and his army is starting to get pretty scary himself, and he's got upgrades as well. So this game is not over yet. This is still a very, very close game, and it just takes one bad engagement from Protoss against Terran to just flat out lose. And if he gets ghosts, that's the one thing that is missing right now, is ghosts from the army to get off the EMP. Here we go. There is a drop with a Widow Mine, and then he's going to counter drop on the other side. So it's a 2-prong attack, a 3-prong attack. There is the ghost, actually. He does have a ghost out.
Yeah, there is one.
An EMP ready to go. So this is really dicey here for Mortophobe.
Both sides currently with that level of tech where if your positioning is bad, you're gonna get punished bad for it. I'm not sure why that EMP went down. Probably could have just be saving all of your energy for other things. There are giraffes on the field, which we don't see very frequently these days. They are split now on both sides of the army, and the army also is being split. Has actually allowed Mortophobe to get more damage in there than he probably should have, as the ball gets split into micro groups, and just enough to allow Mortophobe to get in here and clean up everything. That was way easier of a fight for Mortophobe than it needed to be, but Pot really, unfortunately, currently cut with fucking oregano there. That was horrendous. Just split himself up all sorts of places and got punished for it bad in a situation that should have been much more successful for him than it was.
Yeah, those Colossi came out at the right time. He was in trouble without those Colossi, and I'm not sure why he stung off an EMP early on those structures instead of waiting for the army. That was a bit of a mistake there from Pot, but fortunately for Mortophobe, those Colossi come out and just created some real chaos and got some units out of position, allowing Mortophobe to get in and barely took any losses. I mean, Pot's entire army is dead, and Mortophobe lost like 2 Colossus, and that's it, and like a few Stalkers.
Yeah.
So this is a very, very, very good defense.
Yeah, it was very, very, very little. And yeah, just I think partially coincidentally, I mean, just the giraffes were just on the move, and they just ended up, doing their pathing thing. And it just so happened that they ended up in some pretty sweet positions for him.
Yep.
And that his reward for this on top of cleaning that up, obviously, himself and doing a great job, is to be able to immediately go back and attack, and there's really not that much that Pot can do about it for now. He might have to give this base up for the sake of getting some more units, getting a better position. He's going to decide not to, though. That is a tiny army, sir. No, not today. She will not be impressed. Put it away and save for a little longer.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And there's the storms. And again, the storms are tricky. I was playing StarCraft there a few days ago and throwing off storms, and I'm used to being able to be so aggressive after the storms, but they last so long. And of course, you can damage your own units, but they are good for CCing, which is nice. And you know, it's got its ups and downs for sure. And those storms just last so much longer, and it just allows Protoss to maneuver just a little bit easier. Some poor EMPs too. Pot just not really doing a great job. Yeah.
Like, instead of EMPing, and again, like, Mortophobe's balled his army up so hard there. Like, everything's on one hotkey type situation that a single EMP would have been absolutely devastating.
Yeah.
There, and I just don't think I saw any meaningful EMPs pop. Some mines are going to even the odds here, and there's an EMP go out a bit there, and now he's got enough army to be able to stutter step his way through and clean the rest of this army up from Mortophobe. And now, once again, we have reset the clock.
Yeah, a little bit.
As Pot has defended, and now, like, Pot has to think hard about this. Like, yeah, he's got the army to go down to an attack. But if he doesn't do a lot better job, like a lot better of a job this time around, he's got to understand that he could be throwing the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much over now, I think, because he's coming down here, and there's a lot of charge lots with 2 Colossus here. Guardian shields go up, and the majority of his units are half dead from that last attack. Beautiful stutter step backwards as he's starting to focus down on the Colossus, allowing the ground units to, to clean up the army of Pot. And yes, he did manage to kill off what was here, but there is still more going to be reinforcing, and unfortunately, Pot's minerals are going down more and more and more, and there is still all kinds of protein in this meal here. This ain't nothing but just empty carbs. I mean, this is 3 Colossi, and, you know, they're not the greatest units, but when you ain't got a lot of units yourself, it's a bad time.
I mean, even dog food has a lot of protein in it, Mr. Blackett. So, you know, some people brave enough to go for it, and it looks like Mortophobe is one of those people. He gets up the map with 3 more Colossi left alive, 1 on the deathbed, 2 with lots in the tank, but really got to be careful here because these are upgraded bio units, and yes, it does look like you can just go in there, but my God, can they put in work if you're not careful. And so even with the numbers, you got to be careful. But this is going to quickly, I think, snowball out of control here. And Pot is going to be in a bad position. He just wasn't able to get his macro and his economy underneath his feet there, and really had a couple of bad engagements that put him in this position. And now it is nearly impossible for him to pull this off. It would take some sort of horrid misstep from Mortophobe, or some really good EMPs, which just doesn't seem to be in Pot's little bag of tricks.
No, I don't think so. Mortophobe sees blood in the water now. Like, he knows that Terran is on the back foot. I mean, it's 68 supply to 145. Yeah, he did lose this base down here, but I mean, he's saturated for the most part there. He's still collecting from these 2 bases. Meanwhile, this is dead. This is dead. And this is damn near dead. It is just about... That's it. I mean, just relentless. I mean, that was a fun game. That was like back and forth, a lot of action. It's well played. I think both players did a great job. I just think Pot needed to get off those key EMPs. And times where he was sniping, he could have easily just done an EMP instead. Like, sniping is nice when there's only a couple of High Templar, but Mortophobe had 8, 9, 10, 12 high temps at certain points. He needed to get off key EMPs, and I'll be honest, I like Mortophobe, but his control with his High Templar are not very good.
Risky.
It's almost like he just had it all clumped on one hotkey. You want to have your High Templar, at least if you have them all together, you want to have a secondary hotkey to be able to move those sort of back and bait in those EMPs and then sort of move them back forward. He wasn't really doing that all that well. So the opportunity was there for Pot to get off those EMPs. It just didn't happen. I think the game could have been done a little bit, could have changed a little bit, but Mortophobe just did a great job at continuously knocking at Terran's door and doing damage here and there and not really overextending. He did that one time in the beginning when he re-blinked up into the main. But outside of that, I think he did a good job, and he knew when to push forward and put the gas down, and then he knew when to sort of ease off and become a little bit more defensive. So very well played by both players. Again, guys, go check out Free Cash. Great way to support us. Go sign up and download and install a game that you didn't already have installed on your mobile device. It's a great way to support us. And if you want to take it a step further, get the first cash out as well, and we appreciate it. Don't forget to go check out NordVPN. They're always there, and you guys can get a guaranteed cast when you get that 2-year subscription. And that's it. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.